there is no sacredness to good name. People can do anything, even if over social media they are dragging them, provided they have cars to flaunt, they have jewelries, they are going on vacations, it really doesn't matter. But in the Igbo community, wealth is a wholesome thing. It's not just about the cash. Let's talk about it. Did you attend Obi Kubona's mother's burial? Yes or no? The answer is no, right?
Wow, she knows.
But you know everything
So you
about
don't feel
that
like that?
burial.
How much we care? Okay, not as you go from her, but at some point, I'm as much as I need them to do. And also, I did English words here and there, English. But I still communicate the same thing. Someone that speaks only English wouldn't understand me if I spoke it like that to someone that speaks Igbo. Are we losing? Is there any problem with that? Is it just originality?
That's not originality. Of course, you just said it, right? Because the whole point of a language is to maintain the way it's spoken without diluting it.
Good day. Welcome to Liberators Network, where minds are set free, voices are amplified, and ideas spark real-world impact. And in day one, yes, it was very deliberate. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Very interesting, but a little bit different. And I have something humongous. It's not obvious, it shouldn't have.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Humongous. And it's going to be humorous as well. She's not a comedian, no. But I bring to you something cultural, Igbo specifically. I have with me an Igbo teacher, the founder of Igboversity, a content creator, a poet, and out of nowhere, she is a pharmacist. With me, I have Miss
Pharmacist, Igbo tutor, content creator. Chizobam Solutochku. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank
I think
you for
we should
having
add
me.
comedian to the list. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you're funny.
Right. I if you said so, then,
No, I
then it
was
must be
joking
true.
about that. You didn't laugh. That was my own joke. How are you doing today?
Especially good now that I'm here. Thank you for having me.
I carved out this topic for you.
Mm-hmm.
This here we talk about entertainment and culture.
Right.
So this cultural part, you're the one pioneering it. And then in the intro, I forgot to say something. If being beautiful was a criteria to be my guest, she would have been one of my very first guests.
Wow.
The very first, maybe. So on that note, she laughed at that one. Yes.
Thank
so,
you.
We are going to be discussing the influence of social media on Igbo/Nigeria culture. So on hearing that, what do you think? What's your take on that? The influence of social media on Igbo.
There's a lot to unpack there, so let's do it. So, before social media, prior to social media, there was something about culture, right?
Yes.
Culture was shaped by the word of mouth, really, in our communities. Our elders spoke things that was passed from generation to the next generation, as you can see in folk tales, folk songs, and things like that. Manakita, now social media is different because social media sort of changes things like in a week or a weekend, right? So for example, very relatable example. Imana, we know that Obonasin Ndi Igbo kwenu. What will he say?
Yes.
Well, can you figure?
Anything, just chance like that. Yes.
But now, what is the new trend?
I cannot even say it. I don't like the sound of that thing.
Clocking.
Why? If I got these children, why now?
Yeah, but younger generation now
they love it, and that's
clock it, right?
Ah, God. as Umana, or as part of the Umana, I'm offended by that.
Right.
What can I say? What can I do?
But it's a trend now. Now you even see people taking pictures and then they keep their hands like, and everybody just unconsciously understand what that is. So that is culture. So social media is there's just a lot that happens. So social media is not is not bad or good. I like to believe that social media is an amplifier. It amplifies things, right? So because if we're being honest, comparisons, self-esteem issues, and people being fickle did not just generate out of thin air. It happens by what was shown on social media, but also we have good places in social media because we have people. Okay, now let's see. Do you know that now people are learning Igbo using apps, using various tools, and that's social media too.
Yes,
We have
yes.
learning platforms that teach people. Now, I know that you may not be a Yoruba person, but
Mhm.
there is a Yoruba. For example, if I say, what is Yoruba word?
For which
Thank you.
Eshe.
Is it Eshe?
Yes, it's Eshe. I usually just know insults in Yoruba. Yoruba, like, it's usually insults that are popular there. But
I
Eshe
just-
is thank you. Yes,
Yeah,
I know
Eshe is
that one.
thank you. So there is something about social media that just amplifies culture, amplifies languages. So, but also the downside of it is that people know a little bit here, a little bit there, but no depth. So you see, many people are increasingly not fluent in speaking
Okay.
Igbo and in speaking their language.
When you mentioned that Igbo could be learned on social media now,
Right.
it's a plus because before now, people who go to diaspora and have kids there,
Yeah,
the children have issues learning Igbo. It's really difficult.
Exactly.
But now they can do it easily.
exactly.
But at the same time, our culture is being redefined a little bit, adjusted by social media. Like this clocky thing, it might be cruise, it's fun, but things are being changed. Let's say 2-3 generations to come, they might not even know what the original thing is supposed to be.
Exactly.
Clock, it might seem like everything was a joke from the onset. So checking all these, how the culture is being both influenced and, with your word, amplified, would we say social media does more of promotion for Igbo culture than modernizing it? So does it help advance the culture the way it is and then preach it to people so they know what Igbo culture stands for, the values and everything? Or is it changing it? Is it metamorphosing to something that suits our generation, the world today? I would have used the word dilute so you get the picture.
Right. So I would say it's a little bit of both,
Okay.
in the sense that again, social media is like a tool. So think about it as a microphone.
Okay.
If a good singer is using a microphone, guess what? You have you listen to very good music. But if someone that their voice is just not good is using the microphone, guess what?
Okay.
So you have to listen to the bad music
Yes,
anyway.
yes.
So that's the same way with social media. So in the hands of someone, a custodian of the culture, of someone who is skilled, of someone who knows the culture really well, social media is a great tool. It can serve as something that educates people. We see a lot of our musicians doing well, right, by promoting the music dances. When they go do all these their music videos, we see the dances is really beautiful, right? And then, but also on the other part, we see people diluting and changing the culture in the way to suit them, in a way to suit algorithm.
Yes.
And I think that many people that are using this clock kit are not, for example, I don't think many people are necessarily using the clock kit because they like it. I think it's because it's trending, right? So they just want to follow the trend and just get their own share out of the algorithm, pushing something that is already going viral.
I agree with that.
So exactly. So I think in the wrong hands, right? If the wrong people that have a very large following are trying to push out the wrong things, it can gain widespread acceptance, even though it may not actually be true about the culture.
So this is for my viewers. We are using Clock It as reference, not because we have any personal beef or issue with Clock It. No, it's cruise, we know. But that's the kind of thing we're referring to here. So it's prototype for what we're talking about.
Exactly.
Clock It is just there. It's a cool thing. You might even see me. You won't see me, but you might see me doing Clock It sometime, okay? Now let's move straight to the questions I have down for you. Question number 1. Igbo culture traditionally values hard work, humility, and community success. But on Instagram, on social media generally, success is often measured by cars, fashion, and luxury display. Would you say social media is redefining success or distorting it?
Okay, that's a loaded question. So, in Igbo, we have there is something about the Igbo culture that is very communal.
Okay. Yes.
So, if you see someone that is wealthy, there is a priority on channeling that wealth to something that is of community value, something that benefits the people, the young people, or at least the family, people around him. So it's normal to see a young a wealthy person rather, being very benevolent. And also too, I think wealth in the original Igbo sense and culture before the advent of social media. So there is also this thing about good name, Eziafa. People valued
Kaego, yeah.
Eziafa Kaego.
That's also, oh God. Editors, don't let that thing get to the internet. Carry on, please.
So Eziafa Kaego, that's how we say it in the Igbo.
Yes.
It's an adage, so which means that a good name is better than riches,
Yes,
right? So some people may not actually have money, but they prefer having that good name because integrity is really important. Now, I'm saying all that to say this. Now, there is a lot of, again, I'm saying that social media is an amplifier. People post curated content on Instagram, on TikTok, everywhere. The flashy cars, the sparkling jewelries, the vacations and all that. And these are curated content, right? But some people have not learned to separate. And many times, these creators that post this, they pass it off as if there is that everyday reality.
Yes. That's
and
the
because
picture.
that
Yes.
happens, there is no sacredness to good name. People can do anything, even if over social media they are dragging them, provided they have cars to flaunt, they have jewelries, they are going on vacations, it really doesn't matter. But in the Igbo community, wealth is a wholesome thing. It's not just about the cash. Okay, so now the question of if social media is redefining what success truly is, I think social media is showing people possibilities, right?
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
it
That's
is.
one way to put it. That's one way to put it.
Yeah,
Okay,
it is. It is showing people possibilities because you can see someone, a 25-year-old, achieving a level of success, choosing a career path that you didn't even know was possible, and these are good, right? But what is unacceptable is using the created content on social media as to judge your personal circumstance. I think the most important thing that young people, I think everybody really needs to learn is don't attribute social media success and think that this is all there is, right? While social media is showing possibilities, we also have to be very intentional to know, to just choose what works for us with the circumstance.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, that
now
we have.
for someone watching this and hearing how you somewhat juxtapose the Igbo depiction of wealth back then as communal and then now what we just flaunt. If the original concept of wealth in the Igbo community was to be brought to social media, what would it look like? How would they depict the same communal thing? What would it look like? What should we do to present Igbo culture as a wealthy person correctly on social media today?
Well, I think many people are doing well in that aspect already,
Okay.
even though,
yes.
Because they're not content creators, I think these people that are doing good, they don't have the time to just be every day in front of camera and say, hello guys, right?
All right.
So I think it may look something like helping communally people around, maybe more education for people, giving scholarships, and then providing jobs, which I think some notable figures in the Igbo community are already doing. Yeah, that's what it will look like majorly, not just aimless flaunting without.
So the primary way to depict wealth, to showcase your wealth and success, let's use success not wealth, as an Igbo person, is to be a philanthropist per se.
Yes, but also to show strength of character.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, because the truth is, something about success is that success involves a lot of boring, repetitive work that people don't see. People don't admire that aspect of success because it's not glamorous, right? Yes. What is glamorous is about showing the latest assets and all that, but how success is gotten is by boring, repetitive work, showing up, consistency, doing one thing for several years.
That's what shapes the character.
So when you see people, I think showing the strength of character of what gets this successful person to that place is also equally important.
And for sure, that's why I can say we lack today. Because many of these people they honestly do not have. I do not want to start mentioning the means at which they make the money, but they lack the character and they don't care. Nobody cares. So long as you have these assets, like you said, many of us do not even like how much more care about the hard work that is put in to achieve this level of success. That's wonderful. On to the next one. The rise of viral slang. Clock it again. The rise of viral slang and trends on TikTok has changed how young Nigerians speak. Not just Igbo people now, Nigerians. Are we witnessing cultural evolution or the gradual erosion of indigenous language and identity? This is what I mean. So we can say the world is getting modernized, it's evolution.
Right.
So is it cultural evolution in that it's going towards the right direction? Things never remain the same forever.
Right.
And so if I'm old school, am I on the wrong side? Am I the one that is refusing to level up? Or is there cultural erosion going on? Are we losing our indigenous language and identity to the modernization of this our generation and everything?
So I think here's the thing, right? These are not there's no right or wrong answer to this. It's not black and white, right? Because the truth about culture is that culture evolves, things changes, and when cultures meet, when they mingle, there is just a rub-off. So for example, an Igbo person that goes to the UK, there are some cultural shock they will experience, and then a white person, a UK person that comes down to Nigeria, there's some cultural shock they will experience.
Yes, sure.
Exactly. So and in those experiences, ideas are formed, experiences are passed on to the next generation. So I would say that because culture changes.
Okay. I want to ask this. This would be a way to make it easy for us. No need to cut. Now, check this out. What would be a judge of this? Would it know, are there cultural practices, maybe in our language, that is beneficial to the culture, that is at risk of getting lost with this evolution? Because evolution is constant, change is constant, yes?
Yep.
So these things you are saying that they are changing, they're getting modernized. Is there one that is beneficial, that we're supposed to keep? But in course of this evolution, we might be losing. Because if it's just there as culture, it's just something we identify with as Igbo people, it does not really count for anything.
Yeah.
We can as well lose it, yeah?
So when we say culture may sound a little bit bogus, but you know culture is perpetuated by language, food, way of doing things.
Yes.
So like language is very integral about
Yes,
culture.
yes, correct.
So yes, so I think language is one of the very how they call it in English, propagators of culture.
Okay, the soul propagators, okay.
Of culture. So I'm saying that to say that one of the very important aspects of culture we may have to put down our feet and keep is language. So language is super important because if someone loses their language, they've lost identity. Their identity is almost questionable.
If their language is modernized, it is still Igbo. But in cases where some words are just lost, some things are Igbo now becomes a thing. It's not like it's a Creole or something.
Right.
Does it change anything? Does it still make
it changes
culture?
a lot.
Okay.
It changes a lot because now it's not the original culture. That's why documenting these our cultural practices is super important, and that's why we even have online language school like Igbovarsity, right?
Yes.
Where we teach learners how to learn language, how to speak languages, their Igbo language, their mother tongue, from 0 to 100 real quick, so that there doesn't have to be a gap in loss of language, especially if you are moving to a different climate where because another thing that fuels culture is seeing what happens around. So if you're not in a place, for example, your kids were born in the US, right?
Yes.
And they've never come to Igbo land at all. Famara ifebo mowo iti mowo. Famara ifebo omubo. Maybe because your mom is late and your mom wasn't able to come. So there was just a lot they don't get to experience. So but that's why there are documentaries out there that they could just follow, and then it makes it easy for them to just at least acquaint themselves with these things, right? And then language is super important. At least start with language.
So when I mentioned the Igbo,
right,
as an instance, you said that is our originality. Are we going to stick with the language the way it is just for the sake of originality, or the culture itself, what makes us who we are, is truly embedded in how the Igbo is spoken, not just that Igbo is spoken? For instance, what am I going to use as an instance now? Okay, I have Buchukubike. Okay, I'm not Igbo from but at some point, I'm as much as Asuyani Nemsunini. And also adding English words here and there, English. But I still communicate the same thing. Someone that speaks only English wouldn't understand me if I spoke it like that to someone that speaks Igbo. Are we losing? Is there any problem with that? Or just originality?
That's not originality. Of course, you just said it, right? Because the whole point of a language is to maintain the way it's spoken without diluting it. If we keep diluting this language, at what point do we stop?
Okay. It just keeps going on.
It keeps going because what do we have
worse.
left for the next generation?
Yeah.
So there shouldn't be any place for dilution. I understand that English is a widespread thing among the young generation now,
it is.
and it's okay if you still know how to speak your language completely without the English. You can use maybe English, and then because I'm a tutor, I'll say this caveat is I encourage people who are learning Igbo to speak. I just say all forms of Igbo are accepted, right? Just start. But the whole idea is not to be there for the longest time. You can start from there, using Igbo to express your thoughts. As far as you are speaking, minimal Igbo is better than no Igbo at all.
Okay.
Right? But you shouldn't
for
learners. But then also for people who are indigenous Igbo speakers who live here, it's always good to speak the correct thing because that's also how culture is being propagated.
Alright, so on this particular question we dwelled on Igbo for quite a while. So let's involve other tribes in Nigeria because it's Igbo and Nigerian culture.
Right.
This is different from the first two questions. During NSAS, we joined together, we came together as a force to fight a common cause.
Yes.
We had one thing in mind. And the internet, social media was where we gathered first before any other place. So invariably, or we could say social media unified us.
Right.
But on many other occasions, light notes, banter here and there, you see like tribalistic bigots here and there on X especially. So if we combine all those small times that we always fighting, you hear Yoruba man saying this about Igbo saying this about also saying yes. If you combine it, it might even outweigh the one time we came together as it might. But the NSAS course was quite a heavy one.
Right.
So it might outweigh. With that being said, would we say that social media strengthens Nigerian unity or weakens it? Because many people learn about tribalism online. If you're born in the East all your life and you don't know anything about hating these people, you come there, that's where ignorance is supposed to be. You learn about these people, you learn that your people hate them. But at the same time, this is the place we gather to fight one cause at some point. So does social media strengthen Nigerian unity or does it weaken it? What do you think?
I would say yes, but also say no. So for example, there's this funny thing about Nigerian Ghanaians.
Oh.
Every market day, every other day, there's always a discussion.
Well, I'm scratching my name because I might
because you're always fighting. And you can see Nigerians everywhere, wherever they are around the world, they will support Nigerians. But you see Ghanaians, they'll support themselves. And it's so fun to watch. The banter is ridiculously funny. Right, so coming to the important one.
Yes, the one in-house now.
So in-house, does it promote unity or does it... okay, so it promotes unity in the sense that when there is a social injustice, that's what we've noticed. There is this outrage, and that's what I like about our generation. This generation of young people are very vocal. They don't know how to keep things under wraps. They like to express how they feel per time. That's a good thing if checked. Right?
Yes, very important, if checked.
If checked. So now when young people vocalize their fears or their concerns about certain things, they also see people who come up together and then vocalize the same thing. That's how NSA started, right? And then before you know it, there is this loud attention that can even, depending on how the outrage is, can even gain global eyes getting in on the matter and things like that. For example, this killing, this massacre that has been currently going on, right? So I'm just saying that to say that yes, the social media is a form of unity for us because it's one place that all of us congregate to talk about societal issues. There is no light. People just come and say, oh, what's happening? Why is national grid collapsing every other day? What's happening? And it's a good thing. So, but more importantly, I think we should move we should move out of social media to start doing practical things to make sure that not just us speaking alone, but there are something is done after making all the noise on social media, so it's not just end as noise. Now, whether it brings disunity rather, here and now too, it does. Again, that leads me to the first thing I said earlier, that social media is an amplifier. It amplifies. It amplifies. If you give it, just think of it as a computer, garbage in, garbage out. So if you give it noise, it gives you out noise. So whatever you put into is what you get, right? So if the right people are saying the right things, it will gain recognition and things will be done about it. But social media have also been known to spread tribalism,
I think
which is bad.
This could be what the difficulty is in picking a side, because like you said, many of these questions are not easy ones to answer. They're not yes or no questions.
Yeah,
so
they're not black and white.
What I need you to do is place these on a scale.
Yes.
So considering how much social media has helped us unify, has brought unity.
Yes.
And then every other time it has preached this tribalism. Every other time someone is like something like I will vote Tinubu anytime over this thing because he's a Yoruba man. Now the person in quotes is not the problem, but the reason is that so long as it's not an Igbo person that is coming, I will choose anybody over. So that mentality now builds in somebody else saying, if these people are like this, that's why they're suffering. These people are bad people. So if we weigh both, would you say social media has helped more from your observation? In fact, weigh in a way that if you're going to make a verdict, because of this, we are going to take social media out of Nigeria, would you say, okay, yes, it has caused enough harm culturally based on this dividing Nigerians that is doing that, so take it out? If it gets to the point where it has to be stay or leave.
Okay, so I don't want to sound like Desmond Elliot and said they should ban social media and everybody came to attack him. But okay. Oh my goodness.
But okay.
But I want to say that all the things that we're criticizing on social media that is not right, we owe it to ourselves and to the future generation to make it right. Whatever we say that we don't like on social media, people created it.
So what do? Do we find them and beat them up?
Not beat them up, because if we beat them up, we're also constituting a nuisance.
I was getting ready for.
But I'm thinking that if there is something we can do, which is also adding our voice to the millions of Nigerians that are civil, that are sane, to say, oh, because I see this all the time. Whenever people are being tribal bigots, you see somebody else, there is always somebody that will be like, no, this is wrong. There's always that lone voice crying in the wilderness.
He really cries because they were attacking.
So I think that if many of us just start joining that lone voice, it will be majority voices. Because what happens is that evil just gains root when the majority keep quiet and be like, this conversation again, why are people just not wise? Okay. But then because they make a lot of noise about it, it feels like that is the reality.
So if you're going to say stay or leave,
it has to stay. People's jobs are online, so
if you're going to ban talking about anything traditional or cultural on social media, will you say ban or leave?
Leave.
That unifies also a leave, yeah?
Yeah, leave.
It's okay. On to the next question.
I'll say the good outweighs the bad. I won't say the necessary evil because it's not evil inherently, so I'll just say it's just a necessity. Social media is important.
Even cultural aspect, culturally.
Absolutely.
Alright, so the next question. In Igbo culture, we're back to Igbo culture.
Right.
Nakochi Igbo. Respect was once tied to age, achievement, and contribution to the society. Manata. Online influence and followers now count. Online influence and follower count now seem to command attention.
Right.
Has social media redefined who deserves respect? And trust me, this thing I say is very accurate. There are a lot of people that, regardless of their age, not even because they're wealthy, just the influence you have online now commands. When you see something, people now take your advice. And
Right.
you used to earn this thing before. You earn it by achieving something on age. But now, anybody.
I don't even know, sadly.
Mm.
I think my answer would be yes. It ought not to be so.
Okay.
But it's yes. I feel like there is just this generation of, I don't know, young people that. You know what I'm saying, young people? As if I'm.
I've been looking at you. You first said I might be old school. I said, look at this one. It's okay. Young people.
It feels like I'm 150 years
you're
old.
You're an Igbo teacher, I understand. All my Igbo teachers, they usually have, you don't have glasses, that's I'm gonna show.
Oh my god, I left it on.
Oh, you might have one, I see.
Alright, so it's a classic glass, please.
Oh.
So what I'm trying to say is that, well, large following should not equate respect, but sadly, the reality is that people that have large followership have some sort of respect, and they have some sort of very tight hold, should I say, influence.
Yes.
They have this influence.
They have the problem.
Some people have like a cult-like following.
Yes. Accurate. Yes. Yes.
So
the loyalty is beyond.
Is beyond. I know people that are against students. They'll say that. I shouldn't mention names, right?
No. Like it talks to me when you say against students
because they're just a lot.
The guy is he's a wonderful young man, by the way, and he has just that he has students that are not as wonderful as he is, and a lot of things that are said easily. In fact, carry on.
Easily misconstrued and
yes, when they couple up things like this and they just find it as a license to air very toxic. But carry on.
I'm trying to say that. I think I liked the time. I liked it more when respect was gained by
age,
achievement,
and contribution to the society.
Yeah, I liked it more because now there is substance to the respect that was given. But now you see,
earned.
even
that's it, yeah?
Yeah, it's earned. But now even young people, so far as they have 3 million followers. 10 million followers.
That's what I was about to ask. I want to be on their side now when I ask this. Is being able to build a page with up to 3 million followers, is that not a way to earn respect? Is that not enough? Is that and the things you say, whatever it is you are contributing to people that made them follow you that much, doesn't that count as contribution to the society to earn that respect?
Well, okay, so we are saying that is if the person is a creator that says so. Some people, they don't say, they just dance. They just do memes. They be like,
they are contributing entertainment to the society.
Thank God I woke up today, and then they're just doing this dance. They'll go forward, go backward.
At this point, don't mention names, please. Don't mention any names. It's fine.
I love myself. But I'm trying to say I'm trying to say that being able to build a page from 0 to 3 million followers, 10 million followers is a testament to your hard work and your consistency.
Okay.
But it's not really a true test of character.
Okay, it boils down to character again.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't show your character in the deep sense of it. It doesn't show value. It doesn't show, because some of these creators are just dancers. They are just entertainers. They are not people. Yeah, I think you are talking from the aspect of people that are giving value. Maybe they have a podcast and things like that.
Okay, yes,
yeah,
maybe that's.
But from the other reality of people who just maybe sing.
Calm down, calm. No, I mean yes. My viewers are usually mostly entertainers. You all should be calm.
But
yes.
I'm just saying,
keep calm.
And also,
dancers are wonderful people, by the way. Don't mind them.
Yes, you guys are wonderful, but I'm also trying to say there is a balance,
yes,
right?
Yes.
There's a balance. I think some people are also in their growing phase.
You know.
Can I finish with this line of thought? Some people are in their growing phase. Right, maybe they're in their early 20s, and some of the ideals they hold as good now may not be the same by the time they are in their 30s. So, but in that growing phase, they've also, with the ideologies they have, passed it on to some people who adopted it to be very correct and accurate, and somehow have made some wrong choices.
Very rash decisions. Okay, so.
So.
You know that before now,
Yeah.
When we respected people just because they're older than us, they're very old, and
Right.
we take their advice. It's the same. It's similar to this. If someone is popular, you just start taking their advice. You feel like, okay, for this person to have cutting hair means
There's
Then
something they have to
back
offer.
then, when someone is older than you feel like because this person is old.
Ah,
And now
I see where you're going.
now we are attacking this thing now. It's the same. Is it not the same thing? If people that are just there because they're there do not deserve the respect, that level of respect because they're popular.
I'm not
Should we
saying
still accord
not
respect based on-
everybody.
Not all of them. No.
Yes,
Of course, if
it's
you
just some
specify.
people, right?
Then just the same thing with age.
Yeah.
Some people they are actually wiser.
You
because
are
they're
right.
older.
Not every older person is a wiser person.
Yes.
And not every older person's advice is the best advice to follow.
Okay, I just wanted you to clear that out. Yes, because
So I think, yeah, looking at it from a different perspective.
I love this question I'm about to ask now.
Right.
I love it. Now, this is happening in our world today, online. We now see traditional ceremonies, traditional weddings, burials, title takings, and even masquerade dances being designed for online visibility and trends. So the way traditional marriages were done, the things they were observed, now being they now
Inherently, it's not bad. I don't know if this is all of your question,
no,
but,
it's not all of it.
but shouldn't we, the same way that many people are pushing?
I'm not done. Calm down.
Okay, let's go.
You're saying it's not bad.
Inherently, it's not bad, right? So this is also another effective way of showing culture.
Okay.
Having not looked at it this way, let's talk about it. Did you attend Obi Kubana's mother's burial? Yes or no? The answer is no, right?
Wow, she knows.
But you know everything
So you don't
about
feel
that
like I
burial.
I know
And it's
about
important
that.
because it showed a level of community that we see in Igbo burial.
No.
So when
I'm not trying to say showing the burial online is the wrong thing. No, this is what I'm saying.
yeah,
We now see traditional ceremonies, burials, title takings, and even masquerade dances being designed. So it's not about showcasing them, it's the way they're now being done. The practice itself is being changed to suit online visibility and trends. The question now is it a good thing that the youths are redefining the roots, that's our culture, to fit their taste? Yes. So showcasing the tradition like this Obikabana thing is very wonderful. That you know how Igbo culture is done. Now, that was awesome. But I'm talking about people that do traditional marriages and then they do it like it's a white wedding. They have a bridal train, they have this and they have that. The way you know that originally this is not how the Igbo traditional wedding is done. Masquerade dance is not that on a piano. Now I'm not saying I don't know if it's bad or wrong, but I'm saying your view. Is it a good thing that we are editing this thing to fit how we use are today so that everybody will enjoy it? Where we are welcoming, in fact we are even welcoming the tradition of what the generation is to what Igbo tradition is. Is it a good thing? Or
I won't lie, I really enjoy the masquerade Amapino dances. They're really cool. But maybe I'm just
that's the new school part of it. Or are we going to say that this cultural practice is losing her authenticity? Even I love the Amapiano dance as well.
Oh, you do?
Yes. I cannot deny it. It's really cool. It's really cool. But should we count that as the youths redefining our roots? As per these our cultural practices is beginning to lose our authenticity? Or do we take it that it's rather welcoming people who are unaware of our culture? What is that doing? When we open up our culture in ways that accommodate things that are not originally there to get more audience, are we advertising and promoting our culture? Or are we diluting the culture?
Okay, there's no easy answer to this, right? But I also think that young people should be allowed.
She said it, guys. She said it. Wow.
Young people should be allowed to express the culture
in ways that suits them.
Not every time, anyways.
Okay.
But here is the truth, and the truth is that culture evolves. There are some words that are not originally Igbo words,
Okay.
because they were not invented at the very beginning. For example, phone, ekwenti. We'll call it ekwenti now because we are trying to find ways to call the name or to name it, right? And then in some really written literature, they call phone. They just call it like F.
Oh.
Okay, no o. So phone, right? The spelling is just a little bit, yeah. The spelling is just a bit different. So I feel like I'm not an expert on this. This is the disclaimer I'm giving, right? But if you ask me what I really think,
yes, I asked
it
you
is.
now. What do you really think?
It is okay for people to interpret culture in the way that they like, in the way that makes them feel included, in the way that makes them feel good. However, the caveat I'm going to give at this time is it's also super important to recognize the original one.
So there
understand?
can be a way to express it the way you feel, but still recognize the original form.
Yes, because we have original songs and we have covers, don't we? Why are we rigid with culture? But there should not be too much dilution. Now, again, that's what I'm saying. There's no easy.
How do we now measure what too much dilution is and what is enough?
Right.
Because if there were a law or a written constitution on how much, well, these are the basic key points of what culture is. So even if you want to change or you did this practice, make sure you're still observing this, and this. But there is none.
Right.
So how do we know? And if you say express it the way you feel, that's like a really wide opportunity. You could do literally
that's
anything.
an open check, and then the dilution just continues.
And the abuse now, yes.
And at what point do we call it
abuse? And at what point do we call it
useful? Right. I think I get that. On the other good side, we have custodians. So when I was much younger, let me give this example. When I was much younger, we lived at Igbo, Anambra State, and then there was this masquerade. Every December, masquerades were allowed to go around, and then it was just part of the festivities. Children really loved it. Mothers loved to see their toddlers or their young people moving around, like watching masquerade. So it was really a fun thing in the community at the time. So all of a sudden, the masquerades, they're getting very abusive, and then they will start flogging. You know, there was this fun flogging they do amongst their age grade.
Yes,
right? So they flog themselves among their age grade, right? But then it now got problematic when they were now flogging young girls. It felt like there was a personal vendetta against people I don't know. Let me just not say further than that. So they were just really going rogue. So there was a community of people that just had to call them to order, and that stopped immediately. So it's beautiful to know that at the nucleus of the Igbo community, there are still things that are sacred, and there is a committee that sanctions these things. So I'm just trying to say from the emotional standpoint that it is important for people to be able
to express.
Yeah, to express themselves. But I feel like it's also important not to change the very crucial aspects here.
Due to this, I think it's always been like that. I think people have always been allowed to. But like you said, there's a community of people that call people to order.
Right.
So that I think they've been more active than they are now.
Yeah.
They were really more rigid before. There's something you just don't try before now. Yeah. But now they permit young people to do it. And we both can agree that the culture has changed.
Yeah.
Things have changed.
Yeah, that's true.
If social media were to disappear today, will Igbo culture find its way back to the roots, the original where it is, or this changes that has occurred is now permanent?
So I would say okay. So here's this is how I see it. If social media disappears today and there is no way of showing our culture,
like we don't get to see this masquerade dancing. We don't even know something like that is going on there. We're not doing the traditional marriage in the wrong per se, the way that's not supposed. So we don't even know. So will we continue doing it our own way, or will still this?
The advantage is that we may be forced to, because human beings we are made for connection. We may be forced to now start listening to our elders, because many of us have lost the art of going to the village during December. That is, if December is the only time you travel, and sitting down with elders in the community.
Let's say elders in the community.
There are a lot. But you've not sought them out. That's how will you know if you don't if you don't search them out?
There are elders in your community. Go and sort them out.
Yeah, so we can sit down with them and glean from their wealth of wisdom and experience. And it's even from listening to them that they will tell you how boundaries of lands, how disputes were settled, how community life was, and these things are really, because again, this is how culture is being transmitted from word of mouth, right? Even though as Igbo people we should do better in trying to document our culture and things like that. But I feel if social media disappears, we may be forced to go back
That's a good
to,
thing.
and that's a good thing.
Is it a good thing?
But the downside is, what about people that are not close to home?
They should
Like-
come back home.
Yeah, even if they come back home, they can't stay. Maybe they've built their whole life
Yes,
outside.
no, I was joking about the come back home. Come on.
Right?
Yes,
So
yes.
I'm just saying that
You can just
it's
come
another
back,
is
yeah.
that they may lose all the
Visit,
learning,
but yeah.
all the learning platforms that
They're going to shut
languages.
down.
Yeah, and that would be sad, right?
That's going to be, it's going to be worse than.
So
so-
there is no right or wrong answer.
I have one final question.
Right.
You see, I actually have more questions to ask. I could go on and on. I'm really enjoying this, and I'm learning. My mind is being reshaped to see things differently. I know that there are things that are still very important I have to learn as an Igbo man. As a traditional man, this applies to your tradition wherever you are. I have an Igbo tutor with me today, and that's why we focus on Igbo, and I'm Igbo myself. So if you're Yoruba, you're Efik, you're Hausa, this applies to you as well. But this is the final thing. So there is this understanding, I will call it a misconception that, okay, I don't know if I should call it a misconception. You tell me that if you are asked to be traditional, to respect, honor your culture as an Igbo person, have a cultural side, that it means you should dent yourself with diabolical stuff.
Oh.
That it means you have to get involved with what other word can I cite diabolical in case that one was too harsh? Get involved with deities and spiritual. Yes, you must get in touch with the spiritual aspect of the culture. So is that correct? Does being cultural mean you must have a connection to the spiritual roots of your ancestors or your culture? Is that because many people do run away from culture for this reason?
Exactly.
I'm a Christian. I cannot go back to being cultural because if I'm real, I have to kill fowl and sacrifice these.
Yeah.
So is that necessary? Is there a way you can be cultural and then not do this, or is that a pertinent part of the culture?
Well, I'll answer this question by giving an illustration.
Okay.
So I know people that so some people, they like their food spicy. Let me explain. I'm going somewhere, follow me.
Yes. I
Right.
need to explain
So
that.
if you love noodles, right,
Mhm.
and then you love spicy noodles,
I do.
right?
Oh, you're not asking? Oh, yes. In case someone does.
So this person can make it with spice, right? But it does not take away from the fact that making noodles have a lot of there are many things, or maybe because is almost a ready-made food. Maybe I should use a different
Egusi soup. With
Egusi
fufu
soup.
and 2 meat.
Okay, maybe using egusi soup. I'm trying to say that there are many aspects to culture, right? Religion is an aspect, but there are other aspects to a culture. So it's like saying I can eat noodles without the extra pepper or without pepper at all, and it will still be nice. Not without pepper at all, of course with the spice, but without adding the extra pepper that will make it spicy the way I want
In this
it.
analogy,
So I'm trying to say that yes, I'm trying to say that there are key indicators of culture. For example, we have language, we have food, we have dressing, we have music, we have religion.
Is this in no particular order or hierarchy?
In no particular order,
Okay.
right? So there are other aspects of culture you can explore without chunking everything down to religion. The religion of the culture.
So conclusively, you can.
Conclusively, I feel like it's super important for us to, once you've decided the religion that you want to follow and the one that works with you, it's super important to also explore other aspects of culture, something that you can transmit to your children, because you can't lose your language because you don't want to involve in killing fowls to the gods and things like
Does
that.
being a traditional man mean killing fowl? I'm going to ask, can you be a Christian and a traditional man at the same time?
I don't have an answer for this, honestly. I've
Okay.
not thought about it deeply.
So I should call you back here, and then we answer the other questions in this one as well. Or you be prepared. Is that cool? Tell me in the
That would
comment
be okay,
section what you
thank you.
think. Do you think it's possible? Do you think it's possible to be a believer, a Christian, whatever religion you are, something different from what your culture supports and believes, and still be a cultural man? To observe your daily duties as a cultural man, to speak your language, to teach your children what it means to be a man from this tribe. And the same time, because I was going to ask in that analogy with the
because
needles, yeah.
Didn't I just say something like that? It's very nice, it's very good, and it's very possible to explore all the parts of culture if you
and
don't
exempt one part.
Yeah, because maybe you don't. There's some parts of the culture, the religion that you just don't agree with
Yes,
that doesn't appeal to you. You can teach your children the language. You can teach them about the food and make them learn how to cook the food, your traditional meals. You can teach them about the music. They should listen to Osadebe, all the very Eriko, right? All the very indigenous Igbo songs, right? They should listen, but at the same time, they should also know the dressing, right? But at the same time, if the religion is one aspect that doesn't align with your values, it's okay to teach them other aspects. That also counts.
Okay, you've heard it from the horse's mouth and not the hyena's laugh. I'm not the hyena. Be very careful with me. But okay, so it's wonderful what you just said, and it's very important you take it home. Let it be a take home. If you're at home already, take it there with you. You do not have to become something that your belief fights against, something that is against your moral values or spiritual values to be a cultural person. In fact, this is the evolution we're talking about, where you get to infuse your own belief as a believer or as whatever religion, into your culture and still make it work.
Yes.
Without having to dent yourself, without having to feel guilty, without having to feel left out in any way.
You can dance and you can enjoy Igbo songs at traditional weddings. You can just dance
Yes,
Igbo songs
yes.
because they are good. You can eat the Igbo foods, right? Egusi, oha, all the very
And learn to
indigenous
prepare them.
You can speak Igbo very well. Igboamaka is a Igbo. Yes. So you can say, oh, achoro Igbo, gomo, right? I don't want to be a traditional person that offers sacrifices to the gods, and then because of that, you lose other crucial aspects of your
there's
culture.
another part of this that is very, very sensitive. I think when I call you back, we're going to talk about it. When you get to the masquerade part of it, it's a very important part of the culture.
Right.
People believe that it's
diabolical.
Yes, because of the things that are being done behind the scene before they come out. But I don't think that I don't think that a masquerade that is dancing about piano sha.
I love when they dance about piano. It's so fun. I love it.
I'll see you guys next week. Next time I bring her, we're going to do this again, and then we're going to dissect and come to the very end of it, the bottom of this. I'm sure you enjoyed this. But I was going to ask.
Thank you so much for having me here.
It's an honor to have you here.
Thank
honestly.
you.
If you notice, this episode is long. I almost don't want her to go. I don't want to let her go, but I have to. See you next time. Ciao.